So the highly anticipated 4th season of Insecure is back, and I'm super excited.
Okay. Wow.
I do have to admit though, I'm feeling some type of way already when it comes to the first episode of the season. Right off the bat,
we got beef.
But the beef is quite surprising. Like Molly and Issa? Really? That's how you start off season 4?
Honestly, I don't fuck with Molly anymore.
Like, what's good? What's up? Yeah, we're definitely gonna have to get back to that later in this recap. But I digress. I'm sure a lot of us knew from last season that Lawrence and Condola would be a new couple. You can just tell. And I like them together. It seems like they really like each other. It's just unfortunate because Lawrence is Issa's ex. And Issa and Condola are forming what looks like a beautiful friendship. Until you got Tiffany, letting the shit hit the fan.
Issa and Lawrence are exes. They dated. They were a couple. They were together. Now they're not.
Lawrence met Condola at Tiffany's baby shower. The same baby shower Issa was at. How did Tiffany fail to mention to either Issa or Condola that Lawrence was a common denominator? She tells Issa,
"For the record, I knew nothing about this."
But come on, girl. Really? They met at your baby shower. How do you not know anything about that? It just doesn't add up. So I'm just wondering, should Issa or Condola feel some type of way about that? Because really, at the end of the day, even if Tiffany tried to prevent it from happening, would she have been successful? People are gonna do what they wanna do regardless, so does it even matter? If they didn't meet at her baby shower, would they have met someplace else? They say LA is small, especially in the Black community. I'm not sure if Tiffany is necessarily to blame. After Condola and Issa found out this information, that Lawrence was a common denominator, I felt it was very mature for Condola to still continue helping Issa with her event to get sponsors for her block party. Even when Lawrence was having a conversation with Condola about it, I even thought it was cool of Lawrence to say, you need to help her out. You don't want to bail on Issa. It seems like she needs you. I thought that was cool on his part. But now, should they remain friends after this event? I'm not so sure. Acquaintances, okay, but friends, I don't know. Could you be friends with your new boo's ex? Could you be friends with your ex's new boo? Would you be okay with your new boo being friends with your ex? Or vice versa? It's very complicated. I definitely think it depends on, time when it comes to making the decision. It does depend on time. Lawrence and Issa, they were together for 5 years. Not a lot of time has passed since their breakup. Not a lot of time has passed since they reconciled after their breakup. Everything is very fresh. I feel like for them to be able to completely get over each other, they need to be apart. They need some time apart. And that also includes trying to avoid contact through other parties, which is already complicated enough since they're already in the same circle. So on top of that, if Issa continues this relationship, this friendship with Condola, at this point in her life, is she still making Lawrence relevant by doing that? Right after she found out, all she can do is imagine Lawrence and Condola having sex at Tiffany's baby shower. That's torture. At that point, like, you have to ask yourself, do you love torturing yourself? Honestly, she's torturing me because I get upset every time I see Lawrence have sex with someone who is not Issa. But, you know, even though it pisses me off seeing him have sex with other women, I do like the opportunity to see his butt every now and then, so keep it up. Just wondering, like, every time she hangs out with Condola, is she going to be wondering about Lawrence? If that's the case, like, yeah, it's messy. If Lawrence and Issa don't have feelings for each other anymore at all, it can work. It can work. Because Condola, you know, she was never friends with Issa when Issa was with Lawrence. It's not like she's a friend taking Issa's leftovers, you know? She's the innocent party in this. It's really up to Lawrence and Issa. If they don't have any feelings for each other anymore, this can work. If there is feelings, like Molly said, it's gonna get messy. Speaking of Molly, how do we really feel about Molly calling Issa messy? I know for me, to a certain extent, I agree with what she's saying in terms of it can become unnecessary drama if Issa continues being friends with Lawrence's new girlfriend. However, I do feel like she's the pot calling the kettle black because it wasn't too long ago where she was the other woman in a marriage. Now, if that's not messy, I don't know what is, okay? I wonder when Molly did call Issa messy, if Issa was wondering, like, girl, it wasn't too long ago when you were messy too. So, like,
Why are you judging me?
at the same time, I do believe that Molly was not coming from a malicious or a bad place. Like, you know, how many times have you given advice to your friends that you necessarily don't take? Like, you just don't practice what you preach. I know I have. But I just hope, like, you know, Issa takes the criticism in stride. And I hope this was not the catalyst for her not effing with Molly anymore. We'll see what happens. Because like Molly said, she was trying to be honest and she was trying to make Issa accountable. And Issa doesn't mind making Molly accountable. Molly came into the event like really almost making it about her and Andrew. Issa had to say, like, girl, you know, do you got it. We got to be real with each other, you know. This is going to be a test to their friendship for sure. I do want to get into Molly and Andrew. I love seeing them because I'm into the whole, like, I love black love, but I don't mind the swirl. And it's a reality in this world that needs to be shown on cinema. And it's not just like when you're swirling, it's just not just like, oh, black and white. Like, there's all types of swirling, just like black and Asian. Anyway, so like, yeah, when Andrew kind of revealed that big bomb that he was dating other people, Molly was hella passive aggressive like the whole day. Girl, like, why would we do that? She asked him the question, he was honest, which I give him props for being honest. He could have just said no, right? Ignorance is bliss. But after that, instead of appreciating the honesty and saying like she had a problem with it, being honest right back with him, she's passive aggressive and says, oh, you got dates on top of dates, do you, playa? Come on, just say how you feel. At Issa's event, he tried to give her another chance to say how she felt, and she still was like, I'm good. Still didn't say anything. He wants you to say how you feel. You know, just as people in general, we have to know that there is courage in being vulnerable, and you get what you want when you're vulnerable too. Because the worst thing someone can say is no, and that's kind of what you want too, because you have an answer. Now you have an answer and you can move on with your life. Rejection is not going to kill you, and sometimes rejection can be God's protection. I really believe that Andrew will not reject her. So I'm happy that towards the end of it all, she did take Issa's advice in terms of like, if you like him, let him know. I like the fact that she said, you know, I'm sorry I was bugging. It's just because I'm realizing I like you. That's what she texted him. So we still don't know what he said back, which is cool. But I do think she'll get a reply, or she got a reply that she'll like. So we'll see how that budding romance develops. Also thought there was some cute little funny moments. The main one that really stuck out to me was the metaphor that Cheryl, the sponsor, made at the event. Now, Cheryl, the sponsor, is played by Paula J. Parker, who was Craig's girlfriend in The First Friday. You know, the one that was like, why you got to lie, Craig? Why you got to lie? Yeah, that was her. She's fabulous. And she makes a metaphor about like how men in LA, maybe even more so black men in LA, how they're like vendors that are being recruited for black events in LA. And obviously the black events are the women. And I just love this scene with the writing and also just the directing, because when she's saying this the whole time, they're zooming into Issa and Condola. Right now they're swapping Lawrence, okay? So, you know, Cheryl's like, everybody swaps these vendors back and forth. And I'm just like, I'm wondering, is it really like that in LA? Is it that hard to find a good man in LA? And I do think Lawrence is a good man. Everybody wants that good man, you know? Women are swarming towards that good man. Sometimes women don't even mind sharing that good man as long as she can have him. So I'm wondering, like, ladies from LA, can you, like, let me know, is it like that? Because I know I don't share. But, you know, it would be cool, like, if Condola could just be like, you know, eye for eye, hey, you got my ex, can I get one of your good exes? Like Issa recommended. You know, I know she was playing, but she was lightweight serious. Like,
Where are your exes? Let me run up on them like you run up on mine.
I feel like, you know what? That would make everything square. Like, okay, I'm dating your ex. Here's one of my exes. He's a good guy now. Let's swap. Let's do it. Why not? There was another part that was funny when Condola introduces Issa to Cheryl, the sponsor. And in the middle of everything, when they're having like what Tiffany describes as like this live conference call that's just going bad, and they're talking over each other while they're complimenting each other, Issa ends up saying like,
Mama got ass too.
I was like, what? Wait. I had to rewind that 3 times. Like, did she really just say that?
Mama got ass too.
She just did say her mama got ass and titties. Okay. So funny. Issa, girl, you funny. I did see Issa Rae on Twitter asking her fans like what their favorite song of the first episode of season 4 was. My favorite song of the first episode of season 4 was at the end during the credits. And I do not know the artist, but it went something like, you choose to stay. Something like that. But I love that, yeah. That was right after Molly called Issa messy. You choose to stay. So we'll see how it goes, but I'm excited for episode 2. And I'll be back talking about that. See ya.